Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geek Gauntlet podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan. Have a cast of co-hosts with me tonight, and we got one heck of a show planned for you. Wonder Women all over the place, the Mandarin, Star Trek. We got a whole lot for you here, right here on the fastest hour of podcasting, the Geek Gauntlet. Let's go ahead and get our timer up and get the party started. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Now, I have everyone here with me, including a new face. As you can see over here on the left side of the screen, our girl Kay. She is going to go over all the new console reviews, answer any questions you may have, go over the specs, everything you need to know about both of them so you can make an informed buying decision. Got a lot to do tonight. But first, let me bring my boys on. Big Boss Shaw. Hey, it's funny as hell. What's up, man?
Chilling. How are you, good sir?
All right. Then we got the man from Canada, the Moosin heavyweight champion of the world. My man, Gene Emerson. What's up, Gene?
Nothing too much. Just a banging night. Love coming here to the Geek Gauntlet because we can run through the gauntlet and make sure that this hour goes fast as it does for us because, well, we just bring it every night.
My fault, ladies and gentlemen. I hit the wrong button, but hey, I made a mistake. I got to own it. But we're still going to be the fastest hour of podcasting. So without any further ado, Shaw, you are the driver of the Topics and Train bus. Let's go ahead and get started.
Yes, sir. First, let's talk about the most recent shows that we can talk about since we have no Arrowverse for a few months. We got The Mandalorian. Has anybody seen it? Seen the last episode?
I have not yet. I'm one of those guys, and I'll be upfront and honest. I'm a binge watcher, so I'll just wait till it's all done, watch it all straight on, because the first season was banging for sure. So I cannot wait for the second season. I know one of my big things about it is Sasha Banks actually made her acting debut. So.
All right. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That was a comment. Just go ahead.
You said it was nice.
Yeah.
So, as not to spoil anything, some stuff happens, other things happen. We get a tease to something that we thought happened in the first season, and we haven't met the certain person that we're waiting for yet. That'll probably be next episode.
Everybody's waiting. Everybody's waiting for that one. That's going to be a big one.
Yes. I'll just spoil this one right here. We're going to meet Ahsoka Tano in the series. Ahsoka, as in from Clone Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, she should be in the next episode. Either next episode or this episode after.
Episode after that. Gotcha.
Now, in connection to The Mandalorian, we have a little bit of not a controversy, but something that's kind of came up. A certain, let's just say...
Would you say villain?
No, a certain person on the internet who complained a lot about video games a long time ago have started complaining about the Boob Armor of the female Mandalorians that we met an episode ago. What you guys think about that? Is the Boob Armor that they had necessary, or is it worth a controversy? What do you guys think?
I really don't think it ever is. It's the same thing. Like, would there be a controversy over stormtroopers wearing body armor? And let's say one of the stormtroopers was female and it accented certain body parts. Are we really going to sit here and complain about? Oh my! There's a first ever female stormtrooper. Like, let's just let it is what it is. It's part of the lore. It's part of the show. Can we get over? You know what I mean? This is 2020. This is not us. Our best way to put it is we shouldn't be going backwards on certain things. We should be making strides ahead. That's just how I feel about it.
I'm there with you, bro.
As a girl, and I may not be the best girl to weigh in on this, quite frankly. I'm kind of with you, like, especially if it's with the lore. I have not watched Mandalorian. I'm also a binge watcher, and I just haven't sat down with it yet, quite frankly. But I've heard great things, wonderful things, fantastic things. So just anything. I do know that like women's armor is just always in question, and sometimes it's a problem, but usually I feel that it's not, and people are just getting upset for just to get upset because that's what people do best.
Yep. It doesn't take a whole lot to trigger people nowadays. It doesn't take a whole lot to trigger people. Real quick too, quick shout outs to our friends over at HyperX Gaming and Metallic Dice Games. Thank you guys for everything that you do for both Geek Gauntlet and GeekNewsNow.net. Our buddies over there. Continue, Sean.
Yep. All right, next show, and the only other show we have, Star Trek Discovery. Anybody here into Star Trek?
I love
Star Trek.
I'm in it. I'm into it. I just haven't seen it.
And again, it's one of those things where I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot, being a Trekkie that I am, with so many Trekkie shows that are out there now. I should be watching one of them like right from like start to finish, but I don't know, with this whole being able to binge watch stuff, I'm like, I'll just wait. I will just wait.
Blessing.
Yeah.
All right, so something happens. Michael goes against Saru, so she's no longer number one. I mean, his number one. The Emerald character dude is pretty cool. He's doing his thing, authoritative but understanding in some cases. We go and meet Book again. Go pick him up. Some stuff happens. Blah. The Orion Syndicate. Blah blah. Got a little more information towards what the burn may or may not have been. And what's her name? Giorgio's thing. Some sort of mental thing is happening now. So we'll have to see how that'll work out moving forward. So that's everything from the episode. So I'm not trying to spoil anything. So I'm doing my best.
Spoiler free.
Yeah.
We try to be as spoiler free as possible. So
your vagueness is impressive.
he has Jedi mind trick vagueness. It's like these are not the episodes you want to
watch. So what do you guys think about it so far? If you've seen the episode or just going on what I've stated,
it sounds interesting.
I would have to say, like every Star Trek, it sounds interesting as well. It's complex. I like the ideas of what they're doing with the storyline. Anyways, as they were trying to do with Discovery, every season got better in the writing, so they have upgraded as we've been hearing. So that's the best part of it, is when the writing gets good, because usually when Star Trek writing gets good, that's when it gets interesting.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Star Trek does tend to get better after the second season.
Yeah.
Yeah. What show doesn't? I mean, really. I gotta iron some stuff out every time.
Well, that's what I tell everybody. It's either like, if I'm going to watch a show, regardless Star Trek, whatever it could be, the first 3 episodes are usually your key to the tone of how your season is going to be. So after the first 3, if you haven't been hooked by the first 3, or if you've learned enough that you pretty much know where your season's going, it's a pretty much a big descriptor. Like when I watched Jessica Jones, after the first 3, after that 3rd one, I was like, yeah, I'm hooked. I'm in this. I'm going to watch it. I don't know how bad episodes go. So you know what I mean? I'm hooked in. It's the same thing when you watch some other shows and you're like, 3rd episode, I was in. I'll use Batgirl for example. First season, after 3rd episode, I'm like, I know where this is going. I'm done. You know what I mean?
See ya. Or I'll take it a different way. Even if it's anime, you look at something like Sword Art Online, or if you look at something like Black Clover, you watch it. I normally don't give it 3. I normally give it 5. And if I can't make it through 5, I'm done with it. And I actually made it. Sword Art Online got recommended to me by a buddy of mine. And it's like I made it through 10 because of him. I couldn't do it anymore. And Black Clover, I made it to 5, and I just couldn't do it. They're both terrible anime.
Side note, I don't know if you guys have heard of How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, but I highly, highly recommend that one. Yeah, I never heard of it, and I just walked across it, and it is great. It's really good.
What did you find that at?
I honestly cannot tell you where it popped up. I want to say maybe Hulu had the first season, maybe, but the second season just came out. Like maybe the end of last year. I think they were coming out with the episodes.
Okay, cool. All right, Sean, what else we got, buddy?
Well, now it's time to go move on to the news.
All right, let me do this real quick before we go. Talk on it. Where did it go? There we go. Before we get there, I'm gonna go ahead and I want to take a real quick break. I want to keep us kind of ahead of the break schedule, so we'll go ahead and take our first break. Everyone, just give us a few minutes, and we'll be right back.
No, there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star. Didn't even get to cross.
And joining for the Huddle podcast right here on Pinfall Productions, myself, Tommy, Josh, and Brandon will get you caught up on week 11 of the NFL. And now, as we're going into news. All right, Shaw, go ahead and break us down with the news.
All right. Well, beforehand, though, we have a comment that I want to address. A Matt Murphy saying that now that Discovery is set 900 years in the future, that it's easier to... Yeah. Oh, you didn't know that. Oh, you didn't know that. That now it's easier to accept it's canon. I would agree with that, but I would also argue that the Discovery is declared that it's now in an alternate timeline because of what happened in season 2 with the whole stuff with Michael and Red Angel. I'm leaving that vague so that anyone who hasn't seen it. Yeah. Anyway, on to the news. First things first. Well, the thing that we have first. Michael B. Jordan apparently has been named the sexiest man alive by People magazine. What do you guys think about that?
Okay, I'm leaving that to you.
Hey, now, hang on. Boy, look at the sign over there on the wall. I mean, I don't know. To each their own. I can't say that particularly. I'm never with the crowd, you know?
Right.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
That makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
You're a contrarian. There ain't no wrong with that.
Hey. He's played villains. He's played good guys. He's
done
played
everything.
Bad guys. You know what I mean?
He's done everything. He's
done a little bit of everything. I think the only reason why he got it was because, and I'm not trying to throw shade over anybody here, but because Chadwick Boseman is not alive, they probably would have given it to him. But who's to say? I'm not the writer. I'm not the guy that's writing the People's Magazine, right? So hey.
Yeah.
Man, it's like if it was just tied down to acting, I'll talk all day. But something like that, I'm not gonna touch that. So,
yeah.
Right.
Well, how do you? Because once again, it's just public opinion. It's
right.
Usually,
how do you figure this out? Did they poll? I've never heard it pop up like, "Hey, do you want to vote for the sexiest person?" I don't.
No,
I think ask me.
I'm not sure. I think there might be a poll somewhere. I don't know. Maybe it's just something.
I think the idea of it is that they take the magazine editors or whatever, and they poll them 40 editors, and they just okay, here's 100 men, rank them from 1 to 100, and boom, go. You know what I mean?
4 guys that were ranking them too.
Or maybe they do it like they do the census. They go to the malls and talk to all the females. Check. I don't know. All right, so what else we got, buddy?
All right, next up. Apparently, Deadpool 3 is in development. They just hired a new writer.
Two
new writers.
I don't know how I feel about that. They had good writing.
And it will still be rated R, so anybody that worried, Still will be rated R.
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
So next, we got a Wonder Girl TV series developing for the CW. Only it's going to be the most recent Latin version. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
The most recent Latin version.
I mean, I mean, I don't have an issue with it as long as the acting and the storytelling is good.
Listen, okay, all right. I'm gonna stop everything right now. I'm not gonna weigh in a whole lot on the superhero stuff because of what you just said right there. I have to say that comic books, the book are great. They're
Mhm.
great.
Mhm.
Some classic movies like the older Batmans, the
Mhm.
X-Men movies, the older X-Men, even the new ones are good, but whatever. Okay. Pretty much everything else, I just die a little on the inside when I hear that a new superhero thing's coming out because the writing is not good. The
Now
writing is
that's
bad.
true.
The movies, if they didn't have the superhero tied to them, the movies would flop. They would. I get so upset. I get heated. I'm down. I gotta calm down.
Okay, no.
She's telling the truth, though. That's truth.
No. I'll throw it. I've always said this, and this is how I feel about it. DC does well with their television shows. They can pull
Yes.
off a great DC TV show for your superheroes a lot of times, and so this being DC, I fear no problem.
Yeah.
It's only when they start throwing in a little more elements for the CW. Oh well, we gotta pander to the teenage people, or we gotta pander to this. Then it gets a little dodgy. DC's done well. When Marvel tries to bang out one of these TV shows, they fail and they fall flat on their face. Only
I
because
don't know, though.
the only reason I say this is only
Agents
because
of Shield is good, buddy.
Yeah,
Hey,
that
Agents
was
of
I
Shield
will
is
give
good.
that one.
there's certain
Yeah.
shows. There's certain shows that have hit the mark. I'm saying in a majority portion, it's
Yeah.
because you have a group of writers over here trying to write to meet whatever it may be, but I guess the best way of putting it, when you watch a Marvel movie compared to a DC movie, where are
Yeah.
you more in tuned with? The DC movies are okay. If you go with old school, like Batman movies, they're great. But the Marvel movies are way superior. Just take Justice League, and we're just now getting a Snyder's cut because Snyder looked at the first movie and said, this really wasn't all that great to begin with. And he's now adding 2+ hours of extra footage that we didn't have in the first film because it's that vague.
Right.
There's a problem.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the thing is, like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was great because it ran with what was going in the MCU somewhat. People understood the timeline, understood certain things because they got it because you watched, let's say Avengers or whatever. You got it. With DC can bang out a show, like you'll have a show like Gotham, for example, well written. Yeah, it wasn't all based around Batman and it should have been tied to Batman. I get it. But it was a good show. It kept you enthralled. It was good writing. It was solid. They had ups and down episodes. So, but that's always, to me, it's always how it's felt. DC can give you a great 30-hour or an hour show on TV. Marvel sometimes struggles, where Marvel will bang it out at the box office, give you the box office blockbuster, but DC recently has flopped because they've tried to keep up with Marvel and they just lost the formula. Don't work.
Right.
I think there too with the CW, you have to get away from the agenda element, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main thing they need to get away from. If you get away from that and just concern yourself in telling a story, I think they can do some pretty good things. When Supergirl got away from the agenda element and started bringing more storyline into it, it was awesome. It was awesome. But if that's their primary glitch, always getting with an agenda. If you just worry about telling the storylines and developing your character, I think it'll be fine.
Before everything got all trendy and Hollywoodized, it was all, it was good because it was true to people and their interests. But now it's like, it's so generalized and for the population. I don't know. The older ones were better. I'm standing by it.
No.
I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you.
And you know what? And I totally agree. I totally agree with you. There's only been ever a few good ones that I can look at. There's only a handful. from even both sides. So keep on going there, driving the bus.
Keep on going, Shaw, while I try to fix
Yes,
this.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You're
All right.
stuck.
We got a couple of trailers to talk about. First trailer we're going to talk about is the last Wonder Woman trailer with a couple of new scenes here and there, but most importantly, a release date of December 25th in theaters and in streaming at the same time. What are your thoughts on that move?
That I gotta give my boy Gene that. I gotta give him that because that's what Gene was talking about when we brought this up as a topic before on how you need to sort of kind of satisfy both mediums. And I'm very excited and happy to see because you can't leave Gal Gadot up on the shelves just collecting dust. You can't do that to my girl. You can't do that to me. No, I'm not gonna have that.
Like I said before, I think this is the best way to go about it. Is really good to see that they're decided. Hey, we'll put it in theaters because theaters are starting to open up. COVID and whatnot. Things have been going well.
Mm-hmm.
And also at the same time giving you that stream, so it gives you that position to choose. Well, do I really want to go to the theaters, or do I want to just sit at home and watch it? And you know what I mean. But like I said before, the box office is where these films make their money back anyways, regardless, good, bad, indifferent. Your box office is always going to make it because you're always going to get butts and seats. There's people are going to be going, hey, you know what new movie's at the theater? Wonder Woman. Let's go see it. And the floodgates open. So I think this is also something that I think Marvel's also waiting on and seeing how well this works. And I think that you'll see Black Widow be the next one in that floodgate.
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. For my girl Scarlett, I got to see it. I've only seen bits and pieces of Scarlett in that white suit. and plus, this is her last time playing a role that she does some voiceovers and things like that. So, I wanted to come back strong. What else we got, y'all?
All right, we got a trailer for the animated movie Batman: Soul of the Dragon, aka Enter the Dragon with Batman.
Yeah,
that's literally what it is.
It is Batman with Bruce Lee because you couldn't get Bruce Lee because he's dead. So they put him in an animated film, and it looks kicking. Don't get me wrong. I love the 60s.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love that 70s, 60s vibe feel, the old school black people type movie. I've always liked those types of movies, and it works. It just works. It just feels good. I'm like, I definitely would going to pick that up because that's definitely something on my list.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That was an awesome trailer.
Yeah, I can't wait till that comes out.
Kay, I got to get you added to our Geek Gauntlet page. You can check some of this stuff out too.
Oh yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. In related animated news, we have a live action with animated Tom and Jerry movie. Have anybody seen that trailer?
Yes.
I haven't seen the trailer. I didn't know this was a thing. And instantly I'm kind of excited, but I feel like you're about to make me really sad.
It's like, wow, I'm going to be really, really, really happy to see this. No. Actually, honestly, to be completely 100% honest, it looks not that bad. Like I would go watch this. It's I like the interesting take at the beginning, how they trying to be like, oh, they're all going to be nice now. Tom and Jerry are going to put their differences aside and be friends, and then all of a sudden they move to New York and are still rivals, and how they play it as like basically Tom is. I do believe Tom's the mouse. I'm hoping I'm getting this right. I've never got this.
Shame on you. Tom's the cat.
Yes. I was a Looney Tunes guy. Okay, let's be honest. But Jerry's living in the hotel, and Tom, the cat, has to get him out, and they've never worked that way. And they just played the whole comedic side of things, like cat versus mouse, but it's well done. And the way they put it in, it's not like some of these cartoon mixed with live action movies where there was really no key story. This is actually telling a story, which I like. It's trying to save this woman's job. She's got to get the mouse out of the house or out of the motel because she's going to lose her job type thing. It looks really good.
Right.
It looks good. Like, there's none of that bullshit from the animated movies where they talk or they're friends. None of that. None of that.
Oh,
You know, some
It's-
normal slapstick.
Yeah.
The only problem that maybe there are human characters who it may get the focus. You know, you got Mario Pena, you got
Yeah.
Chloe Grace Moretz. So as long as they don't get the full, you know, like a lot of the, you know, as long as it's focusing on Tom and Jerry, it should be good. Like, it looks pretty
and
good
the
so
way
far.
they're doing it, like almost every animal in the movie, if there's an animal somewhere, is pretty much animated.
Yeah.
The elephants are animated.
Some birds.
So as long as the humans know that they're sort of the focus, but not the full focus of the movie, this should work as okay.
All right. Now, in related, aimed at younger kids news, we have a spin-off trailer for Shark Girl and Lava Girl, titled "We Can Be Heroes," where apparently Shark Boy and Lava Girl got together and had a kid. Apparently,
I know, and the name is Guppy. Also, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut you off. Right, I literally just saw this. It's directed by the guy who did Spy Kids. I don't know if he originally did the first one.
Yeah.
I thought he did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought he did, but
he made both of them for his kid. And also, the movie Machete is in the same universe as Spy Kids.
What?
Yeah.
What?
The same Machete that's in Spy Kids is actual Machete.
Yeah.
When he shows up the rubber band? I really hope my sister's watching this right now because she can stream it with me. I'm a texter later.
No. Why do you think the Machete does show up in the Spy Kids movies? His character Jenny Trejo shows up, and then they play it off as they don't really tell him what he's about.
Yeah, he's just kind of there, you know. Yeah, I knew he was in there, but I just never. I was too young, you know what I'm saying? I didn't even know what Machete was when I watched them originally. But yeah, no, never once thought about that. That's amazing. You made my night. Thank you.
Yeah, Robert Rodriguez tries to, with everything, tries to keep all his universes together.
Yep.
She just she just texted me. Yes, Machete. What? Oh, that's great.
Oh my goodness. All right, Shaw, hit us up with what else you got?
All right, we got the first look at Miss Marvel for the new the Disney Plus show, where she's basically wearing the helmet with the Afro fin thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking that's just gonna be the first episode suit, like her, the whole costume type suit,
right?
And that she'll probably go into the regular suit later.
Mm-hmm.
Probably.
I think so too.
And since this is the early like first glimpse, that's probably what it is because it's early.
Catch you, hook you in, you know.
Yeah,
you hook you into the show. Oh yeah.
Let me try to see if I can show it to you guys.
Oh,
that's what it looks like.
That is pretty extravagant.
Yeah, when I first saw it, I was like, "Wow, Halloween costume."
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Halloween costume from Walgreens, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, budget. It's all
right. So, and I'm also hearing already that Rogue's gonna be the big enemy. So, from what I understand, Rogue's gonna be, and Sean, I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting. Boy, because eventually Rogue and Miss Marvel going. Oh, Captain Marvel, I should say. But to bring Rogue in, yes, I've been waiting for that because eventually the whole storyline is going to take place. And hopefully, God will keep me around long enough to see it because I want to see it.
Yep. Oh, sorry, excuse me. All right, next. In some pretty sad news, especially for you, William, I know this is pretty sad for you. Black Lightning will see its last season in its fourth season. So next season will be the last season of Black Lightning.
It makes me upset because I'm not trying to put down the character of Painkiller. I'm really not. And I know you can bring some of those characters from Black Lightning into that show. But to me, Painkiller isn't interesting enough to carry a show. He isn't
Agreed.
That he's not that guy. He's not Black Lightning. It's a whole different set of circumstances. Yeah, at some point you can maybe have internal strife with Painkiller, but it's not going to be the same as what Black Lightning was going through. And I don't know how well it'll do. Um, Jennifer's got to be there at some point, so you'll probably see Jennifer. Maybe some of these people will go over. Some of the other heroes go over and join the Legends. I don't know, because the Legends is a rotating cast, so we'll see how that goes. But it's a very sad day, and Black Lightning is a very good show, and hopefully they finish on a high note.
Yeah.
It is sad.
Hard. It's hard because it's like I always figured that the Black Lightning show there would be some way they would integrate Static Shock somewhere as like a bit of a spin-off.
That would have been so kick-ass.
Because do you know what I mean? Like there's an easy way to do that. Like Black Lightning hit something and made static. You know what I mean? Like we could get that easily, write that in because I think that would be a lot better if that had showed up by the time season 4 came up and been like, okay, we're cutting it because we're introducing Static Shock. Okay, great. Not just cutting it just because you feel like, oh, nobody's watching or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it hurts. It hurts.
And like I say, I just don't think Painkiller is strong enough to carry a show by himself on his own. And you could pretty much say Painkiller and Wonder Girl is replacing Supergirl and Black Lightning because that's what it comes down to in the end. And it's just sad, bro. I don't care how good Painkiller turns out to be if it does. I don't care how good Wonder Girl turns out to be, good, bad, and different. I don't care. You sacrifice 2 shows for those, and that just makes me mad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. In my opinion, like those two new shows, like I have nothing against the idea of them. It's just that there's so many other characters that they could have spun off.
Right.
And losing Black Lightning, I mean.
Well, I did it okay with Supergirl. I sort of did it okay with Supergirl. You know what I mean? It's about that time to end it because you're going to give us Superman with Lois and Clark, the new adventures. I get that. Awesome. But it's when you have all these other shows that are still stuck in the Arrowverse that you can pick better characters than who you're picking, and then you're stopping shows that could potentially give you better shows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you keep Black Lightning going, you could get Static Shock. You could get other shows. You know what I mean? That would spin out that would help. The DC, Legends of Tomorrow and stuff like that could help those backstories, if you will. That's all I'm just saying. I don't know what Kay's feeling on this is, or she's just going to stay indifferent on the shelf on this.
This is actually not one that I am familiar with, so I'm gonna let y'all kind of go with that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
All right, it's all good. All right, guys.
Up now, though.
All right, guys. We're a little against the break. I'm gonna go ahead and run a commercial break very, very quickly. Give us a little bit, and we'll be right back.
Yep.
And don't forget to join us every Wednesday night, 10 p.m. Eastern my time, 9 p.m. Central Time for the Paradigm Shift Wrestling Podcast. Join myself, Gene, Josh, Brandon, Tommy, as we break down everything that goes down in the week of professional wrestling. You don't want to miss it. Shaw, let's go ahead and continue.
All right, next up, in some anime news. Apparently, the original creator of Naruto, is now taking over the sequel series Boruto right now.
He needs to, because Boruto sucks. It sucks. It's a terrible anime, and he needs to take it over. That's a good move. That's a good move. Boruto is terrible. He's trash, man. Woo, it's trash. Anybody else?
Don't get Will started. It sounds like that's.
Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. It's trash, man.
I feel like me and Kay are gonna have to come out there sometime to hold him back. Like, we gotta hold you back. We gotta hold you back.
See, KW agrees with me. KW knows. He knows. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's go ahead and. All right, let's go ahead and continue.
All right, so we got the results of the death battle of Red versus Blue.
I haven't seen that yet.
Oh, then I'm not going to tell you one.
I know Gene saw it. I haven't seen it yet, but I know Gene. Look at Gene. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
All right.
All
right. So Blue won. Well, whatever. But next time is going to be Spider-Gwen versus Batgirl.
I want to see that so bad. Oh my goodness. That's going to be so. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. My question. Which Batgirl?
Barbara.
Ooh, I want to see that so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Like I said,
hey guys, let's be nice. Let's be nice. We have Kay's in this group. What is your plan, or what is your take on Batgirl versus Spider-Gwen? Who would you go for? Where would your pick be?
Batgirl versus Spider-Man? Is that who you said?
Spider-Gwen.
Spider-Gwen.
I knew. I was like, I know they're not saying Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Gwen. I don't even know who that is. I don't know who that is. I know. Listen, hey.
Gwen Stacy got bit by the spider instead.
Think of Gwen Stacy got bit by the spider instead of Peter.
Yeah.
Okay. So
really cool
action.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of always want to lean towards the Bat anything, but I feel that's biased. That's 100% biased. I actually can't say anything about that. Yeah. So Batgirl.
Last time we saw Batgirl, she was being eaten up by parademons. So I want to see Batgirl get the win, but I won't be surprised because, like I said before, and Sean knows this. Death Battle tends to zig when you zag. So
it's so long since I've watched Death Battle.
Oh my goodness, you need to check some of those out. Oh my goodness. Me and Gene were going at it when they had Robin versus Red Hood.
Red Hood versus it was the Red Hood versus a Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
I think I did.
Okay. They have some come down to the past, so we'll definitely see. But that's gonna be a good one. All right, Big Boss Shaw, what else we got up?
All right. Well, first off, in the comments we have saying that she's the female Spider-Man. There's a lot of female Spider-Mans.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot. There's like
I'm not the only one who doesn't know exactly.
Yeah, there's like 3 different Spider-Womans.
And then when Gwen Stacy became Spider-Gwen, and they gave her a whole other spinoff, even with Deadpool, there's a Gwen pool as well. So don't worry.
There's Gwen pool.
Yeah.
Really?
There's a Gwen pool.
This is why I get so confused. The spinoffs, man. I got too much other stuff I keep track of. I can't handle all. God.
This will feel like those back in those olden days, Will, when we had Josh and we were giving him homework from
list rolls out. I got my list. I need you to write this down, and then go watch it.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you got, Shaw, on that side?
All right. We got a promo photo of Deathstroke for the new Snyder.
I saw that. Yeah.
Rocking the Mohawk.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's see what else we got here. Oh, in sad news, the voice actor, Kirby Morrow died at age 47. He played.
Real quick, that's your homework assignment.
All right. I'll do it. I will do it.
He played Goku in the DBZ Ocean dub. There's a bunch of different English dubs of Dragon Ball Z.
Mhm.
He played Tora, however you pronounce it, in Gundam Wing.
Yep.
He played Muraku.
Maruku, yeah.
It's been a while since I've seen the show. From Inuyasha and Cyclops in X-Men Evolution.
People give Inuyasha crap. I love Inuyasha.
They have a new anime coming out. It's like Inuyasha's daughter, and it looks good. It looks really good.
I love Inuyasha. We got a question, guys.
Thoughts on the Doctor Strange multiverse movie? I'm going to back out right here because, as I stated earlier, I have resisted watching these new movies fairly easily.
I'm all for it. I'm
thinking it's going to be a very unique thing. It's exactly what comes from the comic, anyways, that Doctor Strange does. So I think it's perfect. It's exactly perfect, and I hope, from our understanding of where they want to go with the story of the Doctor Strange, I think the big baddie is supposed to be this time Nightmare, so it would work perfectly if you're going into that multiverse idea. So I think it would be really well.
So this is Marvel Stage 4 for that. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Stage 4. So
what does that even mean? Marvel Stage? Do you hear yourself? What are they doing? What are they doing?
Okay. To verse you here, basically all they did was they broke down the Marvel like comics, if you will, into stages so that they could easily compact it into movie form so people could understand the connection. So there is references to the original comics, but how they've done it is so it's not so. Let's put all the source material out there. Let's give them enough so that they go read the comics and then piece it together themselves.
That's okay. Thank you. That makes sense.
All right. We also got some casting for Stargirl. We got a young actor by the name of Alcoya Bronson, going to play Jaquan Thunder. Never heard of the character. I think the actor has been in the one of those Nickelodeon shows. I think
he was too.
Yeah. All right. Now that's all settled. Matter of fact, you know what? Let's move on to our gaming news now. So
yes,
please, Kay, what you got?
Okay, guys, thank you. I'm going to talk a little bit about the new consoles that Microsoft and Sony just released. So on November 10th, the Xbox came out with both their systems, and their specs are the X, like the bigger one, has a 1 terabyte solid state drive or an SSD, and you can buy a separate 1 terabyte external hard drive. It can reach 120 frames per second. However, the game itself has to be optimized in order to really get that. It comes with the Blu-ray disc drive, and it weighs 9.8 pounds, which is really surprising, and it is priced at $499. The S is the same, except it comes with a 512 gigabyte hard drive. It does not have a disc drive, and it weighs only 4.25 pounds, so much smaller, and it is priced at $299.
Okay.
Games featuring the optimized for Xbox Series X or S icon. It'll have like a symbol on it. They take full advantage of the new system's abilities. And there's another icon for Xbox Smart Delivery. It means if you buy a game and an updated version comes out, you don't have to rebuy it, which is awesome because I bought like 5 versions of Minecraft. And it is backwards compatible with many games from the 360 and One, but unfortunately on the 16th, it was reported that the Series X will have a shortage until sometime like spring next year. They're just going to fill orders as they can. And then moving on to the PlayStation, that was released on the 12th in the US for $499 as well. They released their digital edition for $399, and literally the only difference is the digital one does not have the disc drive. Like everything else is the same. Well, it's a little bit lighter, but not much. They have an 825 gigabyte hard drive, and it can be expanded, but research it because it's weird, and I don't even. Yeah, look into it. It also goes up to 120 frames. It weighs the most at 9.9 pounds. And both companies are starting the ray tracing thing for the more realistic graphics. So I'm excited about that.
Right. Okay, we have a question. We got a question here, Kay.
Oh, yeah. Has Microsoft made any statements on the overheating issues they were having? Are you talking about where there was smoke coming out of it reportedly? Because that was a hoax. That was people vaping inside of the machines, because they had to release a statement saying we shouldn't have to say this, but don't vape in your machines. Besides that, I haven't heard a whole lot of outstanding issues. Like when I was looking into the reviews, it was kind of just general mix of things. I am expecting something to blow up. It always does. It always does. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like the drive won't work. Something like the overheating. Something's gonna mess up.
And it's funny that Brandon would bring that up because I did see videos other than the smoke coming out of the
Right.
the Xbox ads. I'm like, that's a little hoaxy. But the next one was somebody trying to put a disc in, and it wouldn't.
See, and I'm not surprised on that one. Their disk drives don't usually work that great. I will say on the overheating thing, if they do have a lot of problems with it, that sucks because they put a lot of effort into not having it overheat. Like they've got a bunch of like channeled airflows. They've got like inside, they've got like the little tubes, I guess you want to call it, that goes through that just carries the heat, like heat sinks built into it. Like they're like, listen, guys, we've had problems in the past. We're gonna fix this. So yeah, I don't know. I really hope that they get it. And it may just be where they're using new technology. Like they haven't done this much effort for fixing the cooling, like making sure it stays cool. So maybe just trial and error. I mean, honestly, it's sad, but it's true. They should do this before they release it to the public. But
let me ask you this, and I'm sorry, Jen, I didn't mean to cut you off. Should we as consumers wait?
Personally, I am. Simply because I bought like the one when it came out. I want to say it was, I don't know if it was the day of, it was the month of, got the first version of it. Everything was fine for a while. Our disk drive messed up. But when it did, it was before it was like super well known. So they weren't just fixing it for free like they often end up doing. So it's kind of, you might be that guy that gets that lemon problem that nobody else has, and then and I mean warranties and stuff like that, but like it's just, I don't know. I get weary about that stuff. However, it's kind of like, who's going to test it? If everybody waits, who's going to figure out whether or not? So if you have money to burn, sure, why not? Try it out. Try it out. Everyone else, I would say maybe wait, let them try it out, get some better games out. That's a big one too. Although new games are supposed to come out for both, of course, for a little while. So you'll be fine playing on the older system. I don't know when I'm going to get one, as soon as I can. But yeah, I'm definitely going to get. I'm going to get an Xbox. But and I think I'm going to get an X just because I like my discs. Space. All right, real quick, guys. Let me wrap this up with the PlayStation. Let's see. Right. Okay. Features of PlayStation. Okay. Supposedly, it's going to be backwards compatible with all PS4 games. However, the games will need tested according to Sony, as the tech is a big advancement. So they got to figure out how it's going to work on each game, I guess individually. I don't know how they're going to do that. Their virtual reality PSVR is available on the current headset. And the new DualSense controller, okay, this is the moment I was holding you guys on for. All right, so the triggers, L2 and R2, have varying resistance, which is neat, depending on like what you're doing with it. And you can tell, like, if you're shooting a gun, if it's like a pistol versus a shotgun, you'll feel the difference, which is awesome. And they have a changed angle. The angle just changed. That's the thing that I just can't hold it. But they changed it. Yes. Okay. The rumble or haptic feedback has been improved and creates different feelings depending on what surface you're running on, etc. Blah, blah, blah. And it has a USB Type-C port, same as the new Xboxes. So different hookups now than we're used to.
Okay.
So that's all the basic kind of get everyone excited for the systems and everything like that. So anybody got any questions?
We have another question here in the chat.
All right. Do these consoles compete well against PC gamers as far as the tech and the gameplay? If you asked a PC gamer, they'd say never in a million years. If you'd asked any console player, honestly, from what I can tell, these machines they're getting impressive. I know frame rate's going up for for PCs more than the systems are going to be able to handle. But there's a limit to what the human eye can see anyway. I don't know why.
That's true.
Like,
That's true.
and I
That's
mean,
true.
you gotta buy a new TV and everything really to keep up with this kind of stuff. But for the games and stuff, besides honestly aiming, the gameplay should be equal. Some like the systems are meant to run these games on the graphics they're meant to run them on. Now the PC
Right.
often, I mean, it can squeeze that much more out because you can, parts can be changed out. It's bigger, more power can be brought to it. But personally, I don't like using a mouse and keyboard though. I'm kind of shaky, so that auto
Hey,
assist kind of
hold
helps
on
me
now.
out a little bit.
Hold on now. We can use controllers too. Come on now.
No.
Well,
Now with the way, and I'll jump in a little bit. Now with the way Microsoft has done a lot of their stuff with, especially with Xbox. If you bought a game on Xbox, you can use that same game on your PC. You can use your Xbox controller on the PC, like all the new operating systems. Until I see Sony sort of being able to do the dual thing like that, because you can only use a Sony controller on a Sony PlayStation.
Right.
You know what I mean? Unless you're smart enough to backwards, fix it in the back, yada, do all that stuff, but not everybody wants to. So other than that, I think that's for a lot of PC gamers. I know a lot of PC gamers who are PC got Microsoft. They're going to go with Microsoft because they can interchange. They can still use my Microsoft controller on my PC.
Speaking of Game Pass, if you guys get that, you do they have just a PC version of Game Pass, but then
really?
They do. It's a little bit cheaper. And then the Xbox one, you get it for the PC automatically, and then where EA Play was added to it, you get the EA games in their vault, and then you get discounts on their stuff. I don't know if they still do it early access to their games. When it was EA Access, you used to. Yeah, okay. I hadn't looked into it a little bit. Yeah, so you get a bunch of games that you can play, and of course you get Xbox Live with and everything like that. And oh God, how much is that a month? I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot.
Isn't it 60?
Not a month, no. Somebody in chat is gonna tell me.
Or is it 60 for the year?
60 for a year for Xbox Live, but I believe somebody told me they got rid of the year's worth of Xbox Live. I don't know.
Wow.
No, because I can vouch. You can still buy it here in Canada for the whole year at $59.99.
It's $11.99.
Okay. Cool.
That might be that person, I believe, is also in Canada, so US might be a little bit cheaper. But yeah. Oh my God, multiple people are messaging me. Hang on, I can get a US price real quick. It is.
We also have
$14.99. Okay, $14.99 for Game Pass.
We also have a few things here from the chat. I'll put this up real quick.
As a former consoler, my PC runs Godfall 244 frames without an issue, and you use a controller. Hey, listen, I know a lot of people will switch from console to PC. I've known tons of people that do that. If you like PC, you like PC. I like to have the security of it all being in one thing. I can pick it up. I can carry it somewhere. If something breaks, I ship the whole thing off. Don't have to worry about it.
Right.
I can say one game very specifically I did try to use a controller on, and it was a stupid game to try and use it on. It was PUBG. You can't. There's not enough.
There's no way you can do it.
And you can't. You know how okay, I play Apex a lot, and I have the setting when you reload your gun to hold the button instead of tapping it, so I'm not accidentally opening doors. You can't map a holding. You can't map the holding part, at least not on that game. I don't know if so. That's half your ability with the controller right there. So certain games, super easy to do that, But other ones, just no.
We also have another question here in the chat. I'll show that real quick.
How do you think Microsoft is going to capitalize on the Bethesda purchase? I believe they stated that they are not going to make their games exclusive because it is what it is. They've got games on Switch, they got games on, PlayStation, PC, but I guarantee you they're going to do early release, early stuff like that. Xbox gets 2 weeks early, what I want to say that Destiny 2 did something like that with PlayStation. They had a whole a whole section of gameplay that wasn't available to Xbox until like way later, or maybe never. I don't even know. But yeah, something like that. Yeah, I think that's how they're going to.
I know. Right now with NBA 2K, there's like if you get your NBA 2K 21 on PlayStation 5, there's some extra stuff that's only exclusive to the PlayStation 5.
They usually
You know what I mean?
cosmetics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're
That will
definitely
probably later show up for the Xbox, but it's not going to show up right now because it's the whole. You want to buy this system? Well, then this is what you get. If you buy that system, this is what you get.
Exactly.
I am letting the head honcho know something. Does anyone in the chat have any more questions before? Oh, actually, we do have a.
Okay. Do you play Call of Duty? If so, what are your thoughts on Cold War? I do play Call of Duty. I love Call of Duty. I'm a big Call of Duty fan. I'm not a lot of people are anymore, but in fact, every one of my friends that are watching laughed hysterically when I read that because I love Call of Duty, specifically Black Ops. That's my favorite. I've heard awful things about Cold War. I haven't heard one good thing about Cold War, but I keep hearing it from a bunch of sweaty tryhards. Like, I feel like the average Joe, me, might not dislike it as much, but I can say watching like the beta gameplay and stuff like that. I don't have it yet, budget stuff, but it doesn't look like Black Ops. It looks too. I don't know. It looks more like Modern Warfare. It's kind of like the color scheme, right? It's not vibrant. It's not poppy. It doesn't look smooth. Like that's why I like Black Ops. That's why I like Apex. You know, like that smooth gameplay. Titanfall. Yeah, Titanfall. But I will probably end up getting Cold War just for GPs. But how much I play it is another question.
Oh shit!
Come on, man.
Whoa.
What's up, John?
You gotta answer the question. Come on now.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
John. Oh my goodness. Hopefully Brandon will come back. I saw a few maps from Cold War, and I didn't like those maps. I saw like 2 or 3 maps from Cold War. I didn't like them.
No, they're really not a lot of cover, not a lot of. It's like there's faces. It's who's the best shot, which is, I mean, yeah, but there's more to these strat. Where's the strat?
Right.
Gotta have that in there. Modern Warfare is so much better. Modern Warfare is not terrible. I will give you that, but I can't say maybe it probably is better than Cold War. It probably is.
My goodness. Anything else we should know about the systems?
Let's see. The PlayStation 4 games being on PlayStation 5, they use the same architecture is the reason why supposedly that they're going to be able to do that, because I had a couple of people ask me about that. So that's super neat because I don't believe they've done that before. And they're oh god. No, I feel like I know there's more there, and as soon as I'm going, no, I forgot something super important. But honestly, no. I mean, just look into it, guys. Look up some gameplay. They should be pretty similar in graphics. Finally, usually Sony's got a little bit of an advantage with that, but now that they've got the frames and everything kind of smoothed out, we should be kind of evened out more in that.
If you had to pick just one, knowing that the game you'll probably end up getting both before it's said and done. But if you just had to pick just one, which one would you pick and why?
Out of the 2 consoles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to not just be biased to Xbox player right now because that's what I want to be. All right. I would probably still get an Xbox simply because, this last system did really good. Like, they really catered to a lot of things with people, and that was nice. It shows they're listening a little bit through their wallets. But I like that it comes with a bigger hard drive right off the bat. It does.
That's true. That's true.
And I don't know outside of the hard drive that you could buy. It's specifically a Seagate hard drive. I don't know what you would have to do. I'm sure you could, backwards your way through there. But the other one, like the PlayStation just kind of has, I don't know, it's so weird. It's hard. I don't know. They throw it at you and they're like, figure it out. There you go. The promotion for the Xbox was so much better. Like researching this stuff so much easier on the Xbox because like Sony doesn't even have like a main site that's like, bam, hey, here's all of our stuff. And I couldn't get away from Xbox's stuff. Like there was off of their sites, people reviewing it. Like, oh man, like it is really, people were invested in this system. So, but the PlayStation controller sounds awesome. That varying resistance sounds super cool. I don't know. I'm really excited to feel the different weapons you're shooting. That's so cool.
The funny thing about that you mentioned that was I watch a YouTuber on YouTube, Dank Ops, love him. Anyways, and he just got to try the new Spider-Man Miles Morales, and he could feel that because he had got the PlayStation 5. He's like, wow, the triggers, this whole setup feels different. It felt great. It felt good because when he was swinging, you'd feel the tension, you can feel the resistance doing stuff. So it wasn't just like you being trigger happy and go,
Yeah. I think that's neat. And I think that Xbox should step their game up in that regard because I didn't even know that you could do that. I was like, wow, that's a thing. Cool. PS5 might have more games this year, plus I'm more used to playing on their systems. They do push games out pretty good, and they are really big on their their exclusives list. Like, I mean, Xbox has theirs, but it seems like they've kind of let that go a little bit. Gears has kind of died out, and beyond that, there's not really a whole lot that jumps out for Xbox exclusives.
Right.
Has the user interface on either been improved? Xbox always had the edge, in my opinion. So PlayStation's home screen is, they said it's an improved version. So in other words, it's the same, but it's going to be a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's based off of the same architecture of the PS4. Xbox did not state anything about the way that their home screen looks. And I haven't, usually when you look at the videos, people are showing games and like the home screen tab, which pops up, which is kind of seems a little similar to me, but I haven't looked at the screen as much. I agree with you. Xbox is more streamlined. It's always been more streamlined. It's less laggy. It's nice. It's a little bit more customizable. They don't have awesome noise making backgrounds like PlayStation does, though, which I did not know that also was a thing until recently. I was like, oh, there's music with it. Oh, that's amazing. But I'm going to assume that Xbox probably is going to take home the user interface again, just because they have got that down. And if they don't, they're going to update it 20 times in 3 weeks.
Until they get it right.
Yeah. Every time I turn it on, Xbox has an update. It's like, okay.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. All right. Kay, thank you for that. I appreciate that breakdown. And if you guys have more questions as we keep going along, please let us know. We'll get them up there, get them answered for you. It's in a orderly and timely fashion. All right, Shaw, what else we got going on, man?
All right, so we got some updates in the world of Yu-Gi-Oh! For anyone who's into that card game. We got some updated rules. Some okay, some not so much. We got good things like double sleeving now, because a lot of people like double sleeving. And the really bad thing where now counters, every individual counter has one counter. Mm-hmm. People can't use dice now, because if you use a dice, it's one counter.
Right.
So, yeah, some changes there. And that right there is the last thing I got, good sir.
And I didn't care for double sleeve, and I'm one of the few people who don't care for that. I think it's stupid. All right, let's go ahead. Before we get into our topics, let's run one more commercial break for the night, and we'll move into the topics. We'll be right back, guys. Catch the Gridiron Top 25 podcast every Saturday morning right here on Pinfall Productions. My boys, Tom and Justin, go over the top 25 and a whole lot more. Get you ready for Saturday's college football action right here on Pinfall Productions. And now, since we're about to get started with our topic, all right, good sir. Shaw, what's our first topic of the night?
All right, first up, a little segment I like to do, debunking film theory, where I pick a film theory episode or a game theory, whatever I choose, and I debunk it using my own knowledge or whatever. Today's episode, real quick and easy, is Venom the victim in the situation? For the movies and all that stuff. A lot of it makes sense of what he goes through in the episode, except we see that the Venom symbiote has a will of its own.
That's true.
And we've seen that even all good people like Peter Parker, Flash Thompson, even Eddie Brock, they don't, make it good. It's still, bad. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And there's also the whole thing that originally the Venom symbiote was changed because of being connected with Deadpool. But that's kind of been forgotten, so it's not really real. Plus, we've seen an invasion of the symbiotes. They were bad. So, yeah, not the victim.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, I would have to sort of disagree that Venom being a victim in this whole situation.
Yeah.
They're the only person that's the victim, Eddie Brock.
Yep.
That's your victim.
That's the only victim in the whole thing. Kay, we got one more question for you. Put it up here real quick.
Oh, can I finally use a Bluetooth headset on the new Xbox, or are they still using their proprietary wireless controller connection? I believe they're still using the wireless controller connection. They did not mention Bluetooth. They're also sticking with the controller design that they have. And I'm going to say, don't quote me on this, but I'm like 99% sure that you can use the one controllers on the new ones. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like that's not something that I was looking up specifically, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it just does the same wireless.
All right. And this is a question for the room.
I have not.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I'm not yet.
I haven't read it myself. Gene, this is for you, buddy.
Hey, how's it going there, Kevin?
All right, Shaw, what's our next topic?
All right, so I've recently watched the movie Ghost because I had to at the point in time. What are your thoughts on maybe they're making a remake of it? Ghost with Patrick Swayze and all that.
Okay, so my first thing about this would be if you're going to do a remake of a fairly good movie, a movie that you got to see, you have to see before you die type thing. If you read any books, it's in there. You have to find the right cast, and especially where Whoopi Goldberg is still alive, her character should play at least some connection to it. Like you got to keep some originality. It's like the same thing doing a comic book movie. You got to stay to some of the source material. You're not going to keep it all, but you got to stay at least close to some. So that would be me. I would be okay with it as long as there's an homage or something played to, or even have Whoopi revise her character as now, and it's a completely new thing. 2020, whatever you want to do.
Hold on 1 second. We also have on the previous topic.
I'm not sure. Like I think there was something about them actually being at peace, but I don't know. Like they killed their symbiote god or whatever or something. I don't know.
I gotta look that up because I thought I saw Spider-Man when they did Spider-Man 2099. I thought they referenced this as that being a constant war and strife on that planet. I thought I saw that there. I'll double check that.
Yeah. Okay. What I know you were about to say something about the ghosts. So.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I agree with you about the any remake of anything like that. Yeah, you got to be really careful because there's a reason they got so popular. Like how you gonna mess with perfection type deal. Yeah, exactly. exactly. Like, how you
Yeah,
gonna do that?
how you gonna do that, man? How you gonna do that? Another statement, real quick.
I'll leave go slow. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, I mean, and they're not going to handle it as delicately as they should. Like, they're going to do it. It's always
Nah.
with the dollar signs, like that's the end goal. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. What's our next topic, Sean?
All right, so a little Harry Potter topic. Just something that popped in my head recently. I personally think that Harry should end up with Luna. What do you guys think about that?
that makes sense. She should have
Right?
done something. She should have done like she was such a unique character, Like why put that much effort into a character to not have it go anywhere?
Right.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
could see make
Okay, so just me from like I've read bits of the book. I've seen all the movies. Luna, I think, would have been a better suited character. Like you had put her with Neville. I think it would have worked a
I
lot
was
easier.
almost gonna say that would have been cute.
Neville Neville
Yeah.
Longbottom and Luna would have worked a lot good. Their characters are similar, and in the Harry Potter universe, usually similar characters mash well. So I would,
Yeah.
there you go. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean. I think that would work well. That would mesh well. Harry being with Ron's sister, it just works. You can just you know what I
Yeah, they
mean.
always had their little thing going on.
Yeah.
It would have been cool if Luna was like a older character, just like not one of the kids, like a teacher,
Right.
something like that. Just something
Yeah.
like influence and guide them with her oddness. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I appreciate the character and
I think she would have made a really good deviations teacher.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's look
Oh.
underneath your cup today. I did just see her as old.
We
That's her.
still. I think we got another question for Kay in the chat. Let's hit it here.
Oh,
Agreed.
remastered Splinter says. Oh, this is I guess is a game remake, so I guess it's kind of for everyone. Honestly, I did not play. I've had Splinter Cells pass through my grasp, but I haven't sat down in the series a whole lot. Yeah, but I've heard great things, so I imagine if they remake it, it'll be a mistake.
I had the first one. It was a solid game. I like the guy that does the voice of Sam Fisher. Always have. He's a great actor. Really great voice actor. So
they added him to Siege to the character.
Back to Harry Potter for a second.
Harry, shut up. No, I don't. Well, I guess at the end it was pretty rushed. It's like a budding thing all the way through, and then it's just like, okay, there you go.
Yeah. But even in the books, it was, you know what I mean. It played out the way it was supposed to. When you're making the movie, there's a lot of material. Look at the Lord of the Rings. How much material could you honestly say that they filmed tons of it, and how much of it was cut out?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
true.
Oh,
our boy Brandon's back on it.
Ron Weasley and Luna. That's how it should have been. Those have been some pale babies.
Like I say, Longbottom and Luna, I think would have done a lot better. Just because you can feel Longbottom being from Gryffindor and her being from Hufflepuff. I think. Or no, she's from Ravenclaw. She's in my house.
No, it's Huffle. It's Huffle.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is Huffle or is she actually with Gryffindor?
Honestly, that is really slipping my mind right now.
I think Luna Longbottom was. I think
Okay.
Luna Longbottom was in, or Luna Lovecraft. She was in Ravenclaw.
It was definitely not Ravenclaw. Definitely not Ravenclaw. It's I think it was Huffle. I think.
Okay, then Hufflepuff, because she was in one of the side houses that you don't get a lot of focus on, like Slytherin and Gryffindor. Focus. Hufflepuff and Ravenclaw. Well,
Was she?
Luna was? Yes, Luna was Ravenclaw. That's what I figured.
You're half right. I mean, one of the two. Yeah.
Then we got a couple of things here about the Chosen One.
Harry wasn't even the chosen one. It was actually. You're right.
There is a thing that says that both of them were the chosen one, technically.
Really?
Yeah, there's this whole thing that's saying that both of them were.
It's funny because
how can two people be the chosen one though?
Now, see, this is the thing. When she wrote the books, she had this idea, and her first idea was that Neville, when she was starting to write it, that's who was supposed to be. That's her idea was Neville, because he's this, wimpy, clumsy type, but then he becomes the chosen one at the end, right?
Right.
Claim to fame, which works. But then I think how it was when she pitched it, they came back to her and they're like, no, we want Harry. There need to be a central character, this boy that comes from nothing to something type thing, and it just worked from there. So that's how I know it was. But yeah, originally she wanted Neville, but then it was like sort of pitched to her, well, if you go with Neville, you can still have him in there as a great comedy relief. But if let's use Harry. This sounds more proper. You can build it a better backstory, and I think that's when she was like, okay.
Yeah, all right.
Let me show this real quick also.
Deserve to kill.
Yes, I will agree.
Yes, but at least we got that moment where what's the mother's name? The Weasley's mother's name?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she really deserved to kill.
So at least we got that moment where she kills Vercingetorix. What the hell's her damn name?
I'm so bad.
The mother's name.
Yeah, the Weasley's mother's name.
Oh God, it was right there. Maggie? No. Somebody's gonna say it. Just give me
somebody. I think it might start with an M. But...
Arthur. It's Arthur, right? As the dad.
Yeah, Arthur's the dad.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I want to say Marjorie. For some reason, I want to say Marjorie.
Molly.
Like once I hear it, I'll know it.
So I always texted Molly. Yeah.
I'm thinking Molly too. Like that sounds right. That sounds about right, Molly.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
Right. That was close.
My thing about Beatrix, the one thing, the reason, and I wanted to see her go was not because of all the things she did to Neville. No, it was because of the knife and her killing Dobby. That to me was like, out of every character that you could have killed off in that entire movie, why Dobby? Dobby did nothing to nobody. He was a house elf. He didn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He makes this great return, and then that hurt. That hurt.
Okay, so
it is Mom.
We got but hold on. But then we also get this.
Martha.
Wow. Okay.
I think Brandon is right. I think it is Martha.
That's definitely a joke. It's definitely not Martha.
Molly is not a Karen. You know what? I laughed when I saw Karen Weasley. I'm not gonna lie. But then I was like, I was having that internal struggle while you guys were talking. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Too soon.
I think he's Dobby, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
I know we were all like Robbie. Like, wait.
Hold on one second.
Is that one of the extra Weasleys that we don't know about?
He was hiding underneath, I guess.
All right. What's our next topic for the night?
All right. Got one last topic, and this is just something that occurred to me recently. Seeing some videos about the movie The Lorax. No one in that movie actually cared about the planet of the rainforest. Like the girl only wanted to see a nice little tree. The boy just wanted to get a kiss from the girl, and the Onceler could have planted that damn tree at any time. So nobody actually cared about planting a tree in that movie.
And you know the funny thing is, I had the original story I bought for my kids. I have 3 of them, and I bought them over one Christmas prior. We bought the big Zeus collection of like 13 of Zeus's popular books. One of them being the Lorax in there, and the book starts off with basically the kid already at the Onceler. He was told to just go there, and that's where the book starts. He's at the Onceler. He gives him the whole spiel, the whole story of what's happened, who the Lorax was, and he tells him, "Oh, here's the seed. Go plant the seed if you want to go plant a tree." And that's how the story ends. That's the book.
Yeah.
You watch the movie, which I credit to the movie. It was good. Had some great musical numbers. I love how bad it could be. How bad can I be? You know what I mean? So I love all that. But the story to me was like, okay, for one, if we're really getting down to it, you have a man selling air to everybody when air is there. You know what I mean? Like there's points where how in the world are they buy my air, and yet you're in the house and everybody's breathing air. So are we putting like a tax on air? Is there like debit machine, like somebody's up there? Yeah, you owe us like $100 for all that air you just breathed.
You left your air back in the window. You got to go grab that.
Yeah. So he's charging them for air and all this. So that was the first thing, and then I just liked how they put Betty White's grandma character in there, just playing it in. It's like, oh hey, you're trying to hook up. I see that. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift's character just wants to see a tree because she painted a whole bunch of trees in her home. It's like, so the kid's just getting to see just to plant a tree just to get a kiss. Like that's not what the whole story is about. There's a whole other story. It's about protecting our environment. That was the original story.
Yeah.
But no, we're just going to mow over all that, sell you a bunch of product placement, and here's a great song.
You go. Oh yeah.
Which, interesting enough, that story is kind of a thing of its time because, it's about deforestation and lumbering and all that, which, honestly, lumberers actually replant trees. Like, the amount of trees that get replanted are 90% by paper companies and such. So, that's actually kind of interesting there,
All right. Is there any other topics we got, Shaw?
Nope, that's everything.
All right. Let's go ahead and go into our plugs. We are plug ourselves, what we got going on, what we're doing. Shaw, I'll let you go first.
Yes, sir. Everyone, please join my Facebook page, Justice League Memes of America. We got memes, try to put information and stuff up there. So yeah, please join.
And now I want to head on down to Kay. She is our newest member of Pinfrost Productions, and she's going to be coming out with her own show very, very soon. Her and her sister. Kay, why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
Well, a little bit of kind of what you guys got a sample of. Video game news, ideas of like if there's tournaments and stuff going on, what's new. I'm kind of flushing some things out. I am thinking about featuring like small streamers if there's a way to do that. I'm sure there's a way to do that. Maybe some like a retro gameplay area, and then like just games that are newer, older, fun. Try to get some gameplay in there so y'all can actually see what I'm talking about. Probably just try and do some recording of myself playing it, so copyright and all that stuff. But yeah, like that kinds of things. Just fun time, hang out, talk about video games. The things we all love.
There you go. And we're happy to have you with us. And anytime you want to come on the Geek Gauntlet, push anything, do anything, let me know. We'd be happy to have you back on here just like you were tonight.
Back. Yeah.
All right.
Fun.
The chair is always open, as they would say.
Yes, very much so. Gene, what you got, buddy?
Well, as you know me, I'm not also a host here on the Geek Gauntlet. I'm also a host on the Paradigm Shift podcast, as well as now I'm the driving ship host of the brand new show that we actually have here that was Tommy's. That's the Total Nonstop Pod. I'll be taking over creative control of that as well. And you can also catch me in the WGP and also in the Revolution as my lovely character, as we all know, the Canadian Crippler. So you can catch him on Revolution. Remember, on the 29th, big pay-per-view we have or another big event coming for right here on the Revolution and the Pinfall Network.
Most definitely. And also on my end, don't forget to check out this podcast every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 9 p.m. Central, the Geek Gauntlet podcast. Also, you can catch me, Gene, Tommy, Brandon, Josh over on the Paradigm Shift Wrestling podcast. That'll be coming on this Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. And then we also have the Huddle Sports podcast. Myself, Brandon, Josh, Tommy will be back to go over week 11 of NFL action. So definitely check us out there. If there is nothing else, Kay, thank you for being with us.
Thank you guys for having me on. It was awesome.
Shaw, thank you for being here. Gene,
Awesome.
thank you for being here as well. And to everybody in the chat, I want to say thank you as well. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Lee. John, I ain't seen you in forever, bro. We're gonna have to catch up. Thank you, man. And that's gonna do it for the Geek Gauntlet podcast for this week. We'll see you again next week.
As we like to say,
Remember,
you just ran
the gauntlet.
Gauntlet.
I'm
We're still trying to get
countdown
that
next
down.
time.
We're still trying to
We're
get
still
that
I'll do a
down.
countdown next time, okay?
We're still working. We're still
I'll do a
working.
countdown next time. It's
Okay,
not go.
we'll get it better next time.
Then we'll do it, okay?
Thank you guys. We'll see. Thank you guys. We'll see you
Bye,
again next week. Take care now.